into a bit of a sleeper period out in the Scottish Premiership as there's only 2 matches this match week. But guess what, folks? I've gone mental, absolutely mental. And we're going to go way into the month of December with the latest round of picks. What am I talking about? We'll take a little look next. Both back with a prediction show today. We'll take a look at match day number 16 out of the Scottish Premiership. We'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Scottish Premiership related, Blackburn Roverseas related, World Football related. We're in a bloody car. We're doing the predictions. I don't know why, I don't know how, but we're here. Of course, it is Thanksgiving week out in the US of A. That's why we're here in the bloody car in the middle of who knows where. So anyway, of course, let's take a look at before we jump into the deep. I want a big shout out to the patrons. And in fact, a big humongous thank you to one patron in particular. That is, of course, William Shepherd, who's actually spent the past week of his time trying to get the old Scottish Premiership leaderboard prediction league into tip-top shape. I've not really scrutinised his work or anything like that, but we're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with his league. He's taken a look at the data and he's come up with what he believes is the leaderboard. And I'll analyse it, but we're going to roll with it this week because we've got a bit of time. And I thought I will go through not only these cup catch-up games this week, but also the first round of matches in the month of December. So it gives me a bit of like a week or so to get myself up to speed. But anyway, let's talk about that in a minute. Of course, we're going to take a look, at the rest of the games and picks, of course, from last time around. So let's get into it. And again, I'm in a car, so you've got to give me a bit of slack here, lads. So here we go. The criteria: 0 to 1, you're in the shitface gang. 2 to 4, you're in shitface. 5+, you're in the top bins. Here we bloody go. So Dundee United took care of business against Hamilton Academical. 2-1 on the day. Nicky Clark with a couple of goals there. Ross Callaghan, the 1-0 goal for Hamilton as they lost. Actually, I had the 1-0 win myself. Ain't too bloody shabby. Indeed, I was close, ever so bloody close. Even LG Cow, he knows the score. I was how close was I? I was like seconds away from a Hibernian victory over Celtic. I actually went with the 2-1 win myself. 2-2 it was. Lastminute.com equaliser for Celtic. I had a feeling they weren't going to win this one. I just thought Hibs could hold off for the upset there to turn the league on its head, or actually put the title in the blue half of Glasgow perhaps. But anyway, 2-1 final score. 2-2 for me. Ain't too shabby. Goal scores of the day: Jamie Murphy, Kevin Nesbitt on the score sheet for the Hibs, Utson and Edward with the penalty, and Diego Laxalt again the late equaliser for Celtic as they took a point on that one. Kilmarnock, they did beat Ross County. They did 3-1 in the end. I'll tell you the goal scorers in a second. Eamon Brophy and Nicky Kambada and Chris Burke on the score sheet for Livingston. Tom Grafowski on the score sheet for Ross County. Stuart Finney actually got himself sent off in the 8th minute, so they actually played pretty much 80 minutes of that match with a man down. She came out on top with a 3-1 win. So it just goes to show how good Kilmarnock are, or how shady Ross County are. So I went with a 1-0 win myself, so ain't too bad. Livingston against St Mirren ended up as a 1-0 win for St Mirren. Actually went with a 0-0 draw myself. Goal scorer Jake Doyle Hayes on the score sheet, giving themselves the 3 points. Valuable 3 points, of course. Super Jays to Motherwell ended up all square, 1-1 in the end. Actually went with a 2-1 win for Super Jays on this one. Stevie May and Mark O'Hara on the score sheet for Motherwell to share the sports. And of course, Rangers smashed them. Aberdeen 4-0. Ryan Kent on the score sheet. Kemo Roof, Scott Garfield, and James Taverner as well, as they took care of business against Aberdeen. I got myself 3 on this one from last week's Perfect 6 to no Mr. Perfect this time around. There was somebody who was pretty close to being Mr. Perfect this time around. We'll take a look at those now, and of course the predictions. But of course, take a look at the leaderboard or the league as it stands. Of course, Celtic lead the charge at the moment, 41 points, 11 points clear at the moment of Rangers, of Celtic, should I say, 11 points clear. But Celtic do have 2 games in hand, so mathematically it'll be about 5 points. So it's not all over just yet. Yet to taste defeat. The Rangers, Aberdeen up to 3rd, Hibs up to 4th as well, and again breathing down their next potentially 4th, 3rd spot. Hamilton Academical going down. Of course, St Mirren in the discussion as well. Livingston, and in the middle of the table are Motherwell and the likes of Kilmarnock, of course. Dundee United also doing very, very well into top 5. We go. Let's take a look, of course, at your picks in the prediction league, in the revamped prediction league. We should say the William Shepherd revamped prediction league. We'll take a look at it. Here we bloody go. Mark Chapman, you did all right. Shepherd, well done to you as well. You did well on your reboot. Roberto Hollis also did very well. I don't know why I'm giving you a clap, because you ain't no Patreon. You ain't no Patreon of mine, but you could be. You could very well be. Patreon.com/Roverseas. If you want to become the latest brother and another mother, check out the links down below, and you could be here with me in Thanksgiving one day. Or maybe not here, maybe in a bigger house. You know, I'm not against to that. A good old hangout with the patrons one of these days. Anyway, I'll talk more about patrons later. Of course, Nathan Eva, well done, brother. Well done to you. Of course, we are QPR did bits. Moritz Patelli, he was, of course, in that discussion for the top of the table clash or top of the table leaderboard. Where is he there now? I'll have to wait and see. Elgin Cow also did very, very well. Well done to you, brother. Omar Escobil, Mexican Sniper, also did very, very well. Look at that. A big fat thumbs up. Gaming Charlie, not too bad. Yannick Buster did bits. Vincent Hong, not too shabby. Russell Frost, well done, brother, indeed. And Shane O'Donnell also did very, very well. Matt Gunner did bits. Ivan String also did very, very well. Cody Ho, kicking in assassin, taking names as well. And Fernando Hesesca Segaramund also did very, very well. Of course, here is the leaderboard as it stands. As it creeps on in. And there's Moritz Fratelli and Omar Escobil. Your kingpins this week. I'm sure there was more than one thumbs up. There was 2 thumbs up. So let's give them a round of applause. That's for this week and this week alone. Who is your overall leaderboard according to the Shepherd Meister? He has got, after hard work, Shane O'Donnell. Your kingpin this week, and your kingpin overall was 66% success rate. Matt Gunner is in second. Yannick Buster is in third. Moritz Patelli is in fourth. And Shepherd's up there in fifth. I'll surprise. Well, maybe it was going to be Shepherd is number 1. That's what we should see. I will check out the make sure it's all good to go. I just rolled with it. I'm pretty much strapped for time here out in the boonies, as we have got the worst internet in the world. Oh yes, I've got like a hamster in there, trying to get the old internet speeds up there. It is terrible. The reason of concern is my name. It says 26 out there. I'm sure I must be up there. Must be way up there, I'm sure. Anyway, I'll scrutinise it a little bit later on. But of course, do a big thank you to Shepherd for taking some time out to take a look at that. Of course, there are a couple of games this week, which is, I could have done them last week and we could have been done with it. But no, we're going to be doing this one and then we're going to kick forward another week. I think it must be Scottish FA Cup or Scotch Cup or something. That's probably why they're not in action. But anyway, let's talk about it, of course. And also the predictions are going to be a little bit limited with data. I've got a couple of odds for the next couple of games. I don't have the next ones moving forward. But anyway, let's talk about it anyway. Hibs up against Super Jays, of course, at Easter Road on the 24th, which is Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So hopefully this comes out, or today, depending on when you're looking at it, of course. Anyway, let's take a look at these two sides then. They've played each other, of course, a whole bunch in the past few years, of course. But the last 6, I see 3 for Hibs, 1 for St Johnstone, and 2 bloody draws. Last time I played each other was at St Johnstone. It was a 1-0 win for Hibs back in August this season, of course. Last time I played each other at Easter Road was a 2-2 draw back in August 2019. The goal scorers on the day: Adam Jackson on score sheet for Canonberry, who's no longer at the club, I don't believe. Michael O'Halloran and Jason Kerr on score sheet for Super Jays. Heading into this, of course, Hibs just 1 win the past 4 for them in all competitions. It was against Dunfermline, it looks like. On the flip side, just 1 defeat the past 6 for Super Jays. That was against Dundee United. That was the defeat in the Scottish League Cup as well. So yeah, Hibs, despite their recent good performance against Celtic with a 2-2 draw, not the best bit of form, losing to Hearts, of course, losing to Aberdeen, but it is raised their game, of course, against Celtic, of course. Anyway, the bookies odds on this one: 11-10 for Hibs to the victory, 11-5 is your draw, 27-10 is your away win. That is Super Jays. Of course, Aberdeen are in third, and they're next. So we'll talk about them in a minute. Of course, Hibs coming to this in fourth behind Aberdeen. That's where I was going. But a win for them, they could actually leapfrog Aberdeen in the process. On the flip side, Super Jays coming to this in 8th, and a win for them, they could go from 15 points all the way up to 6th in the table with 18 bloody points. For me, I'm going to go with Hibs on this one. They are my team, and that's why I'm a little bit. I got a little bit of a sprinkle in my eye for these bad boys. So yeah, I think they'll take the 3 points, and again potentially move into third spot depending on what goes on with Aberdeen. Of course, Aberdeen taking on Hamilton Academical on the road. Of course, again midweek action. This one's on Wednesday night. The last 6 opportunities, just 1 win for Hamilton, 5 wins for Aberdeen, and no bloody draws. Last time they played each other was in Aberdeen at Pittodrie. It was back in October 2020. It was a 4-2 win for Aberdeen, and I'm trying to get the goal scores. The goal scores were Ryan Edmondson with a couple of goals, Lewis Ferguson, and Tommy Hoban, of course, ex-Rover. David Moyo, Ross Callaghan as well on score sheet for Hamilton. However, last time they played each other in Hamilton was a 3-1 win for Aberdeen as well. Goodness gracious me, back in February 2020, minus Ogobi on the score sheet for Hamilton, with Curtis Main, Neil McGinn, and Conor McLean on the score sheet for Aberdeenshire. Last time Hamilton were victorious over Aberdeen was all the way back in 2019 at Pittodrie, just to let you know. Anyway, heading into this, Hamilton just 1 win the past 5 for them. That was against Albion Rovers, I'm thinking, as in the Scottish League Cup. On the flip side, Aberdeen just 1 win the 4 for them. That was against Hibs, of course, at the start of November. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one. We have 5-1 for Hamilton, 7-4 on Aberdeen. Now you Stone Cold Ferrets 3-1 is your bloody draw. Of course, Aberdeen coming to this in third, and for them, they could actually go 1 point adrift of Celtic in the table. But on the flip side, Hamilton coming to this bottom of the table, and of course, a win for them will get them a little bit closer to avoiding that bottom spot. Unfortunately, I think Aberdeen will come out with a comfortable 2-0 win to take the 3 points. Again, maintain third spot and potentially close in on number 2. That is Celtic, of course. Next, of course, let's kick it on forward to the next matches now. These matches again taking place on the 5th of December. We get kickstart with Hamilton once again, taking on Kilmarnock. Let's get into it. I don't have the odds on this one. Again, I've got limited data, so we're going to go with what we've got. Of course, Hamilton will be at the bottom of the table regardless of what goes on in midweek, taking on Kilmarnock, who come into this in 6th bloody spot. The last 6 between these two sides sees 2 wins for Hamilton, 3 wins for Kilmarnock, and 1 bloody draw. Last time picture was in Kilmarnock back in September, early in this season. It was a 2-1 win for Kilmarnock. Last time picture though in Hamilton was a 1-0 win for Hamilton back in March 2020. The goal scorer on the day was Mickey Miller. No, it wasn't. He got himself set off. Manis Ugboge on the score sheet again. He scores when he wants, doesn't he? On the 90th minute from the penalty spot to give themselves the 3 points. Heading into this, of course, Hamilton just 1 win in the past 4. We talked about already. Albion Rovers on the flip side, 3 wins on the spin for Kilmarnock. A couple of those in the Scottish League Cup, and also a win just the other day against Ross County. No odds on this one, so we're going to go straight back in the deep end and take a look at the situation of the table. Hamilton comes in this bottom, of course, regardless. If they do win against Aberdeen and also pick up a win here, they could go from 12th all the way up to, 9th in the table. Back-to-back wins, if of course. If they just win the once, they will go nowhere. On the flip side, Kilmarnock come into this in 6th and win for them. They could go as high as 5th in the bloody table. That's where my money's at. It's actually gone nowhere. Don't straight down the middle with a 0-0 draw. No one's happy with that. I'm pretty dang sure of it. Next up, we have Livingston against Dundee United. Let's take a closer look at these bad boys. Of course, Livingston come into this in 10th. Dundee United come into us in 5th. The last 6 encounters between these two, we got no odds, remember, no odds. 3 wins for Livingston, 2 wins for Dundee United, and 1 bloody draw. Last time I picture was at 10 and dice. It was a 2-1 win for Livingston back in October, earlier in the month, of course. Last time I picture in Livingston was back in May 2018 in the Scottish Premiership, of course. It was a 1-1 draw. Goals on the day were Alan Lithgow and Scott Fraser getting the equaliser for Dundee United as they shared all the points. Heading into this, though, Livingston just 1 defeat the past 4. That was against St Mirren the other day. On the flip side, Dundee United unbeaten in 6 in all competitions, including the Scottish League Cup, picking 3 wins and 3 draws in the process. Of course, a look at the situation out in the league. We already told you, Dundee United, if they were victorious in 5th, they can't really go anywhere, but they could close in on Hibs, who are just a couple, they're 5 points clear of them at the moment. On the flip side, Livingston come into this in 10th, and for them, they could go as high as 7th in the bloody league. This was tight on this one, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Livy. That's right, surprise, surprise, and ending the run of games for Dundee United. They're unbeaten in 5 in the league, just to let you know. Moving on, we've got Motherwell against Hibs. This one's going to be fruity, of course, as Motherwell try to climb the bloody league. Hibs, of course, currently in 4th, but they could be in 3rd if my thing could bloody... What's going on here? Of course, I'm in a car. Just remember that. I'm in a bloody car. So take a closer look at these. And they played each other a whole bunch of times over the course of time. But the last 6, I'll tell you the last 6. Any second now. We've got 2 wins for Motherwell, 2 wins for Hibs, and 2 bloody draws. Of course it is. Last time I played that was at Easter Road back in August, and it was a 0-0 bloody draw. Last time I played that at Motherwell was a 0-0 bloody draw. You've got to go all the way back to 2019 from victory from either sides, and it was a 3-0 win for Motherwell at Motherwell, and it was a 3-1 win for Hibs at Hibs, of course. So these two sides know each other very, very well. Heading into this, Hibs, we will 1 win and 4 for them, 2 wins of the past 4 for Motherwell, but they're actually unbeaten without a win in 2, drawing with St Johnstone, also losing to Celtic as well. Heading into this, of course. Quick look at this situation out in the league. Of course, Motherwell are on the climb. They're up to 7th, I think, in the table. A win for them, they actually could go as high as 6. Hibs, of course, double match week for them. Mathematically, they could go 2nd in the table if they win both of them. Of course, Celtic lose, Aberdeen lose, and all that kind of jazz if they be locking us. So I think they'll get the win earlier in the week, but this one I think is going to have to settle with a score draw, 1-1 in the end, to split the points right down the middle. Next up, we have St Mirren up against Aberdeen. Of course, top of the shop taking place on Saturday. Bloody Nora, computer. St Mirren against Aberdeen on the 5th of December. It's St Nicholas's Day, so get your shoes out. You never know, you might have a Christmas log in there. I'm in a car, folks. I'm in a bloody car. That's right. Anyway, the last 6 between 2 sides, 1 win for St Mirren, 3 wins for Aberdeen, and 2 bloody draws. Last time I played was at Pittodrie. It was early in the season, back in October, 2nd of October, 2-1 win for Aberdeen. Last time I played each other in the Premiership at St Mirren was a 0-0 bloody draw back in January 2020. Of course, heading into this, St Mirren have been in 4 games in all competitions, winning 3 and drawing 1. On the flip side, Aberdeen just 1 win in the past 4 for them. That was against Hibs, of course, a couple of games back. Look at the bookies odds. We don't have no bookies odds, but I'll tell you what, in the table suggests, of course, Aberdeen sitting in 3rd spot at the moment. St Mirren struggling somewhat, just like my computer. St Mirren are actually in 11th at the moment, but a win for them, they could actually go as high as ninth in the table. Aberdeen, again, back-to-back wins. If they could win both these matches, they could get themselves 6 points and mathematically could go second in the table. That's right, folks. They'll win the first one and they'll win the second one. Potentially could go second in the table. That's all they need to do. Win them both, they could be second. That's right. Next up, of course, we have, Rangers go to Ross County. I see you, by the way. I see you, pal. We see you, computer. Speed up, will you, pal? 6th of December, this one takes place. It ain't no St. Nicholas Day no more. It's St. Nicholas Hangover. That's what it is. Anyway, these two sides played each other a whole bunch of times over the course of time, of course. But the last 6 seasons, 6 wins out of 6 for Rangers. They did play at Ibrox earlier in the season, back in October, of course. And it was a bloody comfortable win, 2-0 win for Rangers in the end. Goal scores on the day. James Taverner and Brandon Barker as well on the score sheet. However, last time they played each other in Ross County was back in March 2020. It was a 1-0 win for Rangers. Ryan Kent on the score sheet as they took care of business. They've actually gone 4 games without conceding against Ross County. Last time they conceded a goal against Ross County was back in January 2018. Of course, Ross County competitors just one defeat in the past 4 for them in all competitions. That was against Kilmarnock just the other day. Rangers, though, unbeaten this season. That's 15 unbeaten across the board. And again, doing very, very well in the Europa League as well. In fact, the last 3 games, they've scored, 15 goals in the past 3 games. So averaging 5 goals a game, just in case you struggle with your maths, just like this guy. Anyway, of course, heading into this, no bookies odds, but I'm sure Rangers are your stone cold favourites. They come to this 11 points clear at the moment of Celtic, who do have 2 games in hand, but a win for them, they could actually go 14 points clear as we enter the month of December. This one, I'm going to go with Rangers. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you in a minute. But Ross County, if they're victorious, they could go as high as 7th in the table. Rangers will win 3-1 win in the end to take it to the house. And they're wrapping it up. It'll be Celtic taking on Super Jays, of course, over in Glasgow once again. Again, they played earlier in the season. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But overall, the last 6 games, of course, between Celtic and St Johnstone have gone, of course, all the way of the Glasgow team of the Green and Whites. 6 out of 6 for them. Last time, pretty sure there was NC St Johnstone. In fact, the last 3 games have been at the Super Jays venue, of course. I can't remember the name of the place. But last time, pretty sure that in Glasgow was a 7-0 win for Celtic back in August 2019. Goal scorers Ryan Christie with 3 goals. Oliver Nitcham, Austin Edouard, Michael Johnson, and Lee Griffiths on the score sheet in a 7-0 demolition. Heading into this, though, St Johnstone just won defeat the past 4. That was against Dundee United in the Scottish League Cup on penalties. It looks like on the flip side, Celtic just 1 win the past 3 for them. That was against Motherwell, of course. Again, maybe their little sloppy run will continue as they take on Prague this coming week. Yes, it is Scottish League Cup action. That's why there's no action anyway. Heading into this, of course, Celtic coming to this in second. Win for them. They will maintain their second spot in the table, regardless of what Aberdeen does this week. Of course, their opposition, St Johnstone, coming to this in 8th. With them, they could go as high as 6th in the bloody table. That's bloody right. But I think Celtic will come out on this comfortably with a 3-0 win to take it to the bank. And, of course, keep up the hate with heat. Heat. I can't get my words out to keep up the heat with the Rangers, of course, at the top of the table. Of course, this is the situation as I see it. If my predicts come on in, which they bloody well hope to, I'll get my lottery ticket. I'll get my football bonds on this one. Get my accumulator going. That's what I'll do with these ones. Celtic is still 11 points adrift of Rangers. Aberdeen will maintain 3rd spot, and Hibs are also in 4th. 9 point clear of Dundee in 5th. Hamilton and St Mirren in that relegation discussion as it stands. Be sure to get your picks in, of course, with a revamped Scottish Premier League leaderboard, prediction league, of course, and of course, make sure you bang the thumbs up, and of course, bang the old subscribe. Keep you bang up to date with all things Scottish Premiership related, Blackburn Rovers related, football related, videos in the car related. We got it all here under one bloody roof. Ski, give me 1 second here while I try to get the ball rolling on this son of a gun. That's right. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the videos. It is actually quite hard to keep up with doing the videos on the bloody road. So we try on. But anyway, be sure to give the video some love. And of course, and again, check out the links down below. Links to my other social media platforms on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course, Patreon. If you want to support the channel in another way, that's the best place to do it, pal. So make sure you check that out. But until then, though, I'm going to be on the road, in the car, for the next few days, of course. And yeah, we'll keep the predictions keep on coming. Make sure you get your picks in, of course. And then when I get back, we'll bring you bang up to date. Of course, we'll be well up to date. We'll be back before those majority of those games kick off. Until then, though, I'll see you all very, very soon. Until then, take it easy. I'm out.